welcome to the very first King of Hate podcast. And it'll be the first one, and hopefully not the last one. It's like the pilot one, because we're still testing out on stuff. I am Pete, but many of you will know me in the forum as Pdaaaawg, the person that's kind of done all like the stuff leading up to the podcast.
I'm Matt, and I'm a moderator, also known as Beechey.
I'm DarkHadouKurosaki, also known as Riding the Blooded on YouTube, and my real name's Omar.
And you may know me as Orion. My name's Rory.
And the reason why we've been doing this podcast is because we have, like, I think it kind of all started from the thread that I think Run Devil Run created about the radio show. And then people were saying, no, let's not do a radio show, let's do a podcast instead. So then I was kind of like, okay, like everyone was saying do a podcast, but then like nobody followed up on it. So I was kind of like, okay, you know what, fine, I might as well do something. I'm bored on my mind, I've got too much free time on my hands. So I'll just create this thread. I didn't really expect anything from it. Like I didn't really expect like me to actually be doing this. Like I just kind of said, what do you guys think of this idea? And then I got a lot of positive feedback. At first, people were a bit apprehensive. They were kind of like, oh, I don't know whether I was going to join or not. But now we're getting a lot of like people wanting to join. So now this is our first lineup. Unfortunately, Daryu couldn't be with us today because he is away somewhere. But hopefully he will be in the podcast.
Who knows
where? Goodness knows where he's at. So that's pretty much how the podcast came about. Hopefully, I'll try and keep it up and make it a weekly thing, and we can get more and more people in, and we hopefully can try and expand. So without further ado, let's get started. So, what do you think has been going on in the forums recently? Like, I guess probably the only big thing that's kind of blown up is is maybe DSP's thread on Project 7 making it like go viral. And I got a lot of like feedback and stuff. I guess it's only because Phil was commenting a lot on it, and a lot of people were trying to give in their feedback. But unfortunately, like some stuff was being rejected or not, but I don't know, apart from that, it's been a pretty slow week in the forums, I think.
Yeah.
Like, nothing's really happened, like, no big things happened. There's been advertising for Project 7, but that's about it.
Yeah. The only thing I can really think of that's come up is this this complaints that people are getting with the news team closing stuff and then posting up new stuff on the news section. I know I've got a lot of heat for that.
I've really been keeping up to date with that, so I don't really know where it was coming from. But I think it was like Hazard that was that created a thread.
Yeah. Well, basically Hazard, now that he's head editor, he's taken over Beechey's old job, and he's doing exactly the same thing that old editors have done, which is when news comes up, and then news team does a better job of posting that news, you know, and they keep up to date with it and write it out better and update it and everything. So close down the old ones that are in the general news and then stick up new ones in the news thread. I mean, people get annoyed about it, but at the end of the day, if you want to talk about it, go to the news thread.
Yeah, I guess.
It's that simple.
Yeah, I don't understand about like stuff like that there. Another kind of thread news. I guess the only other thing that could happen is somebody found a YouTube account called Troll Drilled Phil, and somebody was saying, oh, I think it's Troll Drill from the forum, and then like a bunch of people were like making fun of it, and then we started coming up with like joke names for our own usernames we could use like Troll Phil with. Some of the ideas were pretty good. I might actually read a few of them out, you know, the podcast. I'm just opening the thread here. It's pretty original. I think it was the gaming doctor that submitted the thread, and then Troll Drill immediately denied it. But some of them was it was a Do Ryu Suck DSP. Is I
haven't seen this.
It's in the haters. It's in the haters section, and somebody just said, "Did anyone notice this?" And
the infamous haters.
Oh,
section.
that's got a lot of heat over like King of Hate's history. It was originally the trolls section, and then there was a bunch of crazy threads, and people were complaining that like the forum rule still existed in a part where they promoted that it wouldn't, and all there, and like threads were being closed. It was pretty funny. Another one is probably Amber is becoming like the biggest troll in the forum. He's like the local neighborhood troll, as he's been creating threads and posting left, right, and center about meaningless stuff. About there was that gamer Nicole memorial thread,
R.I.P. Gamer
and
Nicole.
that was like absolutely crazy. Like a bunch of people, like he was like going haywire and that there, and people were saying, "Oh no, Amber hasn't taken his pills and all there," or somebody fed after midnight and stuff like that. It was really funny. And then Foes closed the thread, saying had enough of this, which I don't really blame her for it because it was getting a bit out of control the way. And also, Gamer Nicole has appeared in quite a number of stuff, like over the past like couple of weeks about regarding her shutting down her Twitter and YouTube account. Well, not really shutting it down, but like refusing to make any more videos. And I don't think we should get into this here, or else my podcast is going to get shut down immediately. But
That is quite a personal topic.
I guess that's it for thread news pretty much, but in terms of DSP and John Rambo and Howard and stuff, and nothing's really been going on with them as well. I guess it's also been a bit of a slow week for that as well. But I think next week's going to be a lot bigger with like Mass Effect 3 and Street Fighter Cross Tekken and stuff being released.
Yeah.
Be
What do you think about the DSP video that he posted up today?
Oh, the fighting game community one?
Yeah.
Well, I'm actually a member of the fighting game community, and I actually didn't follow the story because I didn't really follow Cross Assault, but after thanks to DSP's video, it was actually pretty horrific the way like how they're able to do that stuff to her. No, there's really I don't really like stuff like that there that really doesn't make me happy to be a part of the fighting game community whenever they're being like stereotyped like that. Because I'm friends with a bunch of people from like the fighting game community, like, and we would play games regularly on like the Xbox, and they're like they're some of the most friendliest people I know, and like then you come across all these other like idiots that are being sexist and racist and stuff, but I don't know, nothing you can do about it though.
I think it's the same deal in every gaming community. You're always going to get complete arseholes, and you're always going to get nice people, and it's always the arseholes that get all the attention.
Yeah, it's just because like that's the annoying thing, because like friendly people.
I used to be a part of the fighting game community for a little bit, and the thing about them is they take it a bit too seriously, and it's just I'd ask that the most simplest question on a place like Game FHQ, and they'll just jump down you, and they just start attacking you, and you just be like, oh, you don't know anything, you're just a troll, and then they just immediately cut you off, and they just it's ridiculous, really.
Yeah, like
it really. I know I have bad experiences with the fighting game community.
Yeah.
But,
that's why I'm not a member of ShoryuKen.com, because there's just a bunch of like elitist people that think that they're so much better than everyone else. Like seriously, like I joined and then I created a thread saying, "Oh, do you know how do you do this like combo or something?" And then everyone was like saying, "Oh, why are you even in this site? Oh, you're a scrub. You don't know anything about the game." And I was just like, "Wow, like that's a really downgrading thing to hear from like this is back whenever I like just picked up the game. Like I was like 1 month into the game, and then I posted this thread, and everyone was all like, "Oh, I'm better than you. I'm so good. You don't know anything about the game. You should just give up." It's really like
because in any other community, any other genre of game, not any other, because some are a bit the same, but in most of them, you'd ask them a question, and they'll be kind enough to give you advice about it, unless it's like a bone-eyedly stupid question. But in the fighting game community, it could be anything, and you'll get mature ones, and the majority of them will just be elitist people. They'll just jump down you, they'll attack you, they treat you like crap, and it's ridiculous.
That's why a lot of people like are turned off by the fighting game community. Like I know a bunch of people that would be like playing in tournaments and stuff, but then they would like go on ShoryuKen.com and see all these like stupid like messages and stuff, and then they'd just be like, I really don't want to be a part of any of this, and I don't really blame them, quite frankly. I've been able to like stick around over, like I was at a tournament, like a Street Fighter tournament, like over here in Belfast, and what happened was, like it was just a bunch of like unfriendly, like they weren't being mean or anything, but they were just being very unfriendly. They were like turning their back to me and stuff, and they had their little groups and stuff, and then like turns out the people that won it were just people from England that only came here for the money. Like they flied in, went to the tournament, beat it, and then just left. And like it wasn't a very friendly experience. Like you would hear people say, "Oh, fighting game tournaments are such a brilliant experience," but then whenever you come to like a tournament that, this filled with a bunch of people who, like, you know, think they're so much better than you and think that they don't want to waste their time on you, then it's just, you know, like, it really like discouraged me from going to any other like tournaments.
Yeah, they really don't do themselves any favors. You know, they're constantly talking about, oh, we don't get any attention, and then they act like arseholes and expect people to put up with it. You know.
It's stupid. But apart from that, there, Phil, he made, you know, the weekend preview. He made the channel update regarding just a bunch of general stuff he would be doing over the coming week. But then he also made his Hateful Truths on a binary domain. I think was the only. He didn't make one on SSX. I don't think. But
Yeah.
he done one binary domain. Did any of you see any like binary domain gameplay at all?
I didn't see any of it, to be honest.
I saw the egg roll part.
Oh yeah, that was like it's part 30 of binary domain. Check it out. He's very sexist and racist, but in a good way, in a nice,
In a joking
yeah,
way.
in a joking way. It was hilarious. It was pretty much alright. You know, this will make you watch it. It's a sex scene. There, go watch it.
Right.
People have just probably paused the scene and just gone to watch it.
Yeah,
now.
like I remember there's a bunch of thumbnails like of the two people kissing, and then I actually clicked on the video and then just to scroll the comments, or let's just say that, just to scroll the comments, and people were like, the highest rated comment was just people saying, oh, I knew all of you were here just because you wanted to see a sex scene. And I thought, yeah, that's so true, because, you know, the amount of people I see going like Mass Effect 2 videos and stuff just to see like that Miranda sex scene and stuff, you know, ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just look at DSP's Azura's Wrath, part 16. All the other views are like 10,000, 5,000, but that one part that has the thumbnail of the woman, it has like about what 300,000.
Oh, wow.
I'm not joking. Don't look now.
I think the only other similar one was God of War 3 on his original Dark Side Phil channel, and that one, whenever he had like Miley Cyrus and who else was it? Like three similar. Yeah, but it was like really funny. Like he had to put all those like crazy like photos all over the place and stuff. That one also got a lot of views in comparison to the rest of them. Like,
I could be wrong. I think it got 100,000 views or something like that, or something like near like a
yeah,
lot.
like pretty crazy. Oh, the attention that horny teenagers would go through to get some pixelated sex scenes. Anyway, he gave Binary Domain a 7.5. Do you agree with that? Do you think it deserved a 7.5?
I don't really have an opinion on the game. When I first saw it, I thought it was a Gears of War 3 clone, but then when I got more into it, it seemed to be like Phil said in what's it called, Hateful Truth. It seems to have some role playing elements.
Yeah.
And it seems to have like some unique things in it, but I think it's a fair score. I think it could be a little bit lower, but yeah.
Yeah, but you know, I guess that's fine. I think it's reasonable, to be honest. Like, considering the fact that the voice chat, obviously, they could have just gotten rid of altogether. I still don't get why video games are incorporating voice chat into their games and stuff, because I think it was Phil himself that made a very good point of why would you rather, like, what would you rather do? Like, press a button on your controller to make your teammates do something, or like scream at your TV and look like a complete idiot, like in front of like a bunch of your friends, or just by yourself as well.
Yeah.
I guess that's a bit it from Phil, pretty much.
The thing with that, though, just going back to that quickly, did any of you guys catch Phil's Mass Effect 3 demo playthrough?
It was like hidden for me, so I didn't even know he'd done any. So.
All right. Well.
I only watched it to go get the funny parts and put it in the DSP highlights, but that was about it. I watched a few.
Well, he was using the Kinect voice control in that, and it's quite funny because, like you say, he's said in the past, "What would you rather do? Press a button or shout at your screen?" And yet he was shouting at his screen instead of pressing the button. You know?
Well, I guess this one try it out, so like just to give us an analysis of it. I guess the final thing we could say about DSP was if any of you saw the Syndicate bug at the very end of his playthrough.
Oh god.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
how the heck did we forget about that? I was about to move on to John Rambo, and I was like, oh flip, we forgot about that. So, it was like crazy. Like the noises even continued on like the credits and stuff. It was like, what the heck? And you couldn't even care for the ending after that noise.
Problem was it that it was so annoying. It wasn't funny. Even DSP couldn't give it justice. It wasn't. It's just like you expected something funny, and instead you just get ear rape. That's about it.
Yeah, like people were like commenting on the video, like, "Oh, we expected a funny bug, not one that would like shatter our ears and stuff," which I guess is kind of true. I guess that's pretty much it for Phil. So we talked quite a lot about some very minor stuff that was going on, but I think we covered quite a lot. In terms of John Rambo, pretty much the only thing he put out this week was the show in which he had Flip. What's her name? Oh my gosh, I am so unorganized. Oh jeez. But he had a special guest who was like a voice actress and a comedian who
what's it called? She was in Prince of
and
Persia.
she was in the Mr. Men cartoons and stuff as I don't know.
Oh, well, I know, I know what she was.
Well, let's check it out. It's a good interview.
Alison Packard?
Yes, yeah, good job.
Good job. I haven't even gone around watching that yet. Might as well do that after I've done this.
Oh yeah, it's a pretty good show. It's an excellent show. You've all got to check it out. No, it's pretty good. I don't think Howard for like the umpteenth time uploaded a single video, so let's ignore that. But I guess the biggest topic regarding the gang is Project 7, Episode 2, which got released this time last week. So, what are your thoughts on the episode?
I think it was really good. Like when I saw the first trailer, I thought this is okay, and then I watched it again. I thought, oh, this is crap. And then I watched the second trailer part, and I thought, oh, this actually might be good. And then I watched the full episode, and it was actually really, really good because I underestimated it. I didn't think it was going to be that good.
Yeah.
Liked how I know they're sadly not going to be doing it again, adding the gameplay into it, because I actually liked that element, especially the part with John Rambo. He says, "Oh, Gogan never does the job." But other than that, yeah, I think it was a really good episode. And sorry if I'm going to go on like a small rant
go for
here, but I don't like the fact that people go from, "Oh, there's too much inside jokes. I don't understand this. Why is there too much inside jokes?" And then then Phil started to like add more jokes that people actually be able to understand. Some of them are inside jokes, but you'll be able to understand them. And then people go, "Oh, I don't like gameplay. Why is there so much gameplay? Oh, do something different." And I guarantee you, people are going. I know it's yin and yang, and there's always going to be people that like it, and always going to be people that aren't going to like it. But come on now, it's just. Oh
Yeah,
well, it is what it is.
Pretty stupid.
If there's one thing I've learnt in life, it's that people can complain about anything.
Yeah, like I know people are going to complain about this podcast saying, "Oh, DarkHadouKurosaki's mob, there's some background noise. Oh my gosh, the podcast is a disaster. I hate it. Oh, I'm gonna fucking troll it and all other like, we can't make this podcast.
But they're gonna start doing that now.
Yeah, like I know that's gonna happen. People are gonna be like, "Oh, this is a complete waste of time. Oh, I can't believe I was hyped up for this mess." And we're like, "Oh, come on, like calm down."
I bet you any money that episode 3, if episode 3 is flawless, they'll be like, "Oh, I liked it, but John Rambo's beard is too small." I don't any money.
Hold on, I got another question for Project 7. Do you think John Rambo will take off his hat in the season finale?
Oh.
If that happened, then the world would just end. It would just.
I think that should have been like written in Phil's thread about Project 7. How do you make it go viral? Take off John Rambo's hat. Boom. There you go. 10 million views immediately.
What has he got under that hat?
Life.
Another.
Beechey, what are your thoughts on Project 7 Episode 2?
I really enjoyed it. It was very different to the first episode, which I liked, because obviously when you start a show, you want people to know what's going to go on. And I think he set himself up for a good third episode from the second.
Yeah, I guess like I do like Project 7 Episode 2 as well. Like, I think after I think I do have the general criticism of everyone else whenever I say that the gameplay did go on a little bit long. Like obviously, it's not a bad thing, but at the same time, like, it seemed as if they put a bit too much stuff in it. Like I think probably if I was to remove the gameplay set from that, I would probably remove the Modern Warfare 3 one because it didn't really make much sense. Like obviously cooking the grenade too long was like a classic, but I mean jumping down that well was a bit confusing. I was like the relevance of that, but it's fine. I think probably like people's favorite parts in Project M. I think the general favorite part or the Metal Gear Solid 4 segment of it. Whenever they're, I think that was my favorite segment out of all of it. Whenever they're.
I have an inside joke because you know how much Phil hates to install in Metal Gear Solid 4.
Yeah. So and then I think the other one was the Pine Sol joke. Whenever they were like, whenever John Rambo's line, what was it? Like, I found a homeless guy. He's never played this before, and he's drinking Pine Sol.
That was so good.
And then I think I said in the thread, I found it pretty crazy how some guys never played Super Turbo 4 can do a perfect 360 with Super Turbo Zangief, but I guess I should think about it. I'll let that rock. If you did watch John Rambo Presents his show, one thing he said was originally they were gonna have like a little kid come up and play Turbo, but they couldn't get a little kid to do it, so they that was Andre, by the way, who was the homeless guy, and he showed up and he was all wrapped up and stuff, so they made it sure that you wouldn't know if it was him. And then another thing was, I think it was DSP that said this maybe on his like Twitter or in a post in the King of Hate, but he said that originally they were going to include like a Dance Central scene and everything, and I thought that would have been really good. Dance Central scene whenever like he wouldn't know what he was doing, or I forget what that was. But...
just flailing around.
I guess we should get to probably one of the biggest topics we should talk about, and that is DSP's reasonably controversial thread on how to make Project 7 go viral. And he got a lot of responses. Everyone at the beginning was saying, bad acting. You have to fix the acting and stuff. And he was saying, no, we can't do it. I created like 3 walls of text about the acting, but that's fine. He said, "Oh,
I'm not sure why. DSP says, okay, give me advice for this, and don't say anything about the series though, because that's not the problem. The problem is I want to know how to make it go viral. And say, the way I think you should make it go viral is sort out the bad acting. It's just like he just said not to talk about the bad acting because it's not talking about that. He was talking about how to make it go out more, get more popularity, reach more people. And for some reason, I've been asking him a lot on this, but that's just my 2 cents on it, really. Because it's just, I'm not sure why. I have no idea what I'm talking about anymore.
Yeah, I guess at the same time you can kind of understand where they're coming from, because I think it was Eric from the forum made a very good point in which he said, you can't really force something to go viral without improving a few stuff, and sure, the bad
I understand, because sorry to cut you off, but just I understand that though, because like there are some things in that do need to be sorted out. Like some of the jokes are just feel a little bit bland, but the problem is, just basically what you said. You can't force it, but there is a way you can make it go out more.
Yeah, it's kind of like saying, how do I get popular on YouTube?
Yeah, this is a common question everyone asks.
Well, yeah.
But what are your thoughts on Phil's like plan that if he puts it on Machinima, even if he gets like 10,000 trolls, if he gets like 100 people that are interested in this series, then he's done his job? Do you agree with that, or do you think that
yeah, because you're always going to get trolls and stuff on Machinima, because they're all just going to expect random gameplay videos and commentary with, oh, like my video, favorite my video, go subscribe to my channel. If Phil gets 100 new viewers, then he's done his job.
At first I thought it was a bad idea because of when I saw the first episode, it was more inside jokes, and I thought that putting that on Machinima would have been a really bad idea. But then I saw the second episode, and I thought this might be a good idea. Actually, might get more, even though he might get bombarded by 18,000 trolls saying, "Oh, this sucks! You should go kill yourself now," stuff like that. you at least he said himself that if he gets at least one person that wasn't a fan of his and saw that and became a fan, then he's pretty much done his job. So I'm sure that will happen.
Yeah.
Plus he gets 18,000 views worth of
so
money
still
on
gets
his
money.
machinery anyway.
Well, I think probably the post of the thread has to be from, I forget who it was. I'm trying to find him now, but I don't think I can. But somebody said to post it on 4chan, and I was like, oh dear, you don't want to do that. Oh, that's just like 100% trolls. Like there are no sane people on 4chan. I would be interested though if we did post it up there and see what happened. Because remember, if you remember The Witcher 2, that part whenever he was like going crazy about the PC controls and stuff, that got featured in 4chan, and that got like fucking 500,000 views or something. And like the dislike bar, you could even see like the like bar. It was so. But let's just hope we don't have something like that there. So I guess Project 7. What do you think about episode 3? Like, how do you think it's gonna plan? Like, at the end of episode 2, you saw the masked man with a gun pointing at them. What do you think that would like relate to? Because if it's a gaming world, then what gaming world do you think it is? And what do you think?
It's most like if it is a gaming world, it'll most likely, I don't want to go for the stereotypical ones. It'll most likely be Call of Duty or Modern Warfare, or the same thing, Call of Duty or Battlefield or something along those lines.
Yeah. And what gaming worlds would you like want to see in this year? Because there are 7, hence Project 7. So I think a few of the ones I would like to see would be Heavy Rain. I'd love to see one Heavy Rain because I don't think
that'd be great.
I don't think it'd be too hard having like an X and a circle and a square above their heads, like options and stuff. And I can imagine some of the hilarious stuff they can put up there as well as like other thoughts that they could put.
Yeah, like thought bubbles above their head with stuff. That'd be fucking hilarious.
I don't think there'd be like, I think a Call of Duty one's almost inevitable. Like, I think you kind of need to have a Call of Duty like thing on it. What else do you think it would be? Like, I can't really think of any at the moment. Like popular games that Phil would enjoy.
I wouldn't say Metal Gear Solid, but it doesn't look like Metal Gear Solid. I'm not sure, to be honest.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I mean we'll see how it goes. I really hope that they do go forward with a Heavy Rain idea, because I think that would be a really good idea to have like a Heavy Rain segment. But I'm thinking about some hilarious like situation they could be in or something. But
yeah. What I'd really like to see, and if they end up doing this now, and I've already said it, then it's not going to be as funny. But what I'd really like to see is DSP backed up in a garage with a chainsaw, with a guy coming at him.
Chainsaw his balls off. So I guess that's pretty much it about Project 7. But what do you think about general gaming news that's been going on? I haven't really been following that much, but saying as we do have a few news reporters here, any crazy stuff going on in the gaming world?
I think the biggest thing is Assassin's Creed 3.
Assassin's Creed 3. Are they? They're making another one, Flip.
Yeah. I think loads of info's come out of that in the last 3 days. There was a big leak with the main character image coming up, I think on I don't know where. But yeah, after that it was the cover came out, and then Game Informer announced they were doing an April version of their magazine that was going to cover loads of info. And if you go on Assassin's Creed Wiki, there's loads of images that have come up and loads of info that's come up that's been leaked through from that magazine. So there's ridiculous amount of stuff that they've added into it. So you can climb trees now. There's seasons in the game, so you're going to get the same areas in summer and winter with snow. There's images of him trawling through the snow, catching it all over him. And it's it reminded me of that thing in Uncharted 2 where he's just going through the snow and tracking it all up. It looks awesome.
Yeah.
It actually looks like it's going to be in the 19th century as well.
Wow.
Looking at the flag, it's got 13 stars, and obviously that's when America was first made.
Yeah, it's American Revolution.
Oh, is it?
said.
Oh,
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Really
George
good.
Washington, and looks cool.
very, very interesting. Is there any others? I think one thing that I heard about, and this is very recent, but it was about Valve potentially making a gaming console.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
called the Steam Box, and it sounds
Yeah.
really interesting. I think Chris, or or Mighty Furtado on YouTube, he made a really interesting video about it that I recommend you should all check out, just to give him some publicity. But he said he was talking about it, and it was like, I know it could be like revolutionary, like the way you could like connect your Steam with the console and get your own, and I think I do agree with him that maybe Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo should be a bit worried if this actually does go forward, because you all know
Yeah.
Valve, they make like top-notch stuff every time, so if they can really make this console be good and not like on live, but I think it's
If they do come up with something unique or something like that, Microsoft or Sony will most likely steal it, like they did with the Nintendo Wii. Nintendo Wii was basically not revolutionary, but sort of like with sort of a big idea.
Yeah.
And then like a few years later, they just said, we're going to come up with the PS Move, and we're going to come up with the Kinect, and then the Wii just got destroyed. And the Wii U came out, and that was a sort of a big thing. And then I saw a report about a month ago about they doing the exact same idea. So I don't know what's going on.
That's pretty crazy. But do you think that if Valve were to like make this console, do you think that it could very easily compete with like the big consoles of today?
Definitely.
Yeah, I think it'd be like a really brilliant idea if they did do something together.
Especially the fact that they've said that it's going to be low cost as well.
Like that's just Valve written
So-
all over it.
And they also have a big, good fan following as well.
Yeah. Pretty much everyone who has a Steam account is going to go and get one of these things.
Even me, like I have a Steam account, but my gaming computer is like so bad now, like I can hardly play anything. And if this comes up,
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, I'm going straight off this, and I can actually play my games again.
Yeah. It's basically an introductory gaming PC. That's pretty much hit the nail on the head. If you don't have a gaming PC because you don't want to spend £900, £1,000 on one, or however many dollars, you go out and buy one of these, and then you've got pretty much a gaming PC.
Hmm.
My laptop is so close to crashing that I don't think it can even handle Steam. Like, seriously, you have no idea how hard it is to. You go on a laptop for about an hour and it'll just go incredibly slow. So I don't think it'll be able to handle Steam or anything like that. Unfortunately.
Yeah, like whenever I like run like Left 4 Dead 2 or something, and I just get pixels right up the backside. Like it's so, like I don't know. I don't think my video like graphics card and stuff is as good to like run those type of games. But I already have like those games on my Xbox, so I'm pretty okay. I guess two more topics I guess we should talk about. I think one is pretty much UK exclusive, and the big thing, the game will not be stocking Mass Effect 3. I actually almost forgot about this
Yeah.
until I just looked at it now in the forum. But that's a pretty big thing. I mean, where I live, like Game is like the only game store I have like locally. So this would be pretty crazy if they don't stock it, and then it's going to be stupidly bad. The way that they're lowering
Yeah.
lowering, like I don't know, like they're starting to struggle pretty much.
Well, I think this could be like the first nail in the coffin of Game and Game Station, because if they're not stocking EA games, they're missing out on your FIFAs, your Battlefields, Mass Effect. The list goes on. EA brings out so many games, so for them to not stock any EA games anymore,
Yeah, they're going to lose so much
It's-
money, pretty much.
yeah,
And also, like in the UK, FIFA is so popular, so if they don't stock that, then it's going to be crazy.
I heard
definitely.
I heard horror stories about FIFA 12. I heard a lot of people bringing it back along with Call of Duty 3. No, Modern Warfare 3.
I can understand that because Modern Warfare 3 is starting, like people are saying it's starting to get stale. Except for I bought Elite, so I get 2 maps, and for for £40. Yeah, like,
What is Elite? I keep hearing about that.
I don't care for it, to be honest. Like Elite is such a stupid program, but that could be for another episode. But I guess the final thing that we should talk about is I'm not sure if it was this week or maybe last week, but Borderlands 2 was announced as well for I don't know when it's going to be released. I think it's probably going to be sometime this year, maybe next year. I don't know. But, it's going to be interesting. I didn't really play Borderlands 1 because I was playing Fallout 3 by the time Borderlands was out. So I was kind of like, it's kind of like I always thought it was a rip-off of Fallout, so I didn't really trust it. But some of my friends have said it's really good, and they're really hyped for Borderlands 2. So it's just going to be pretty, it's going to be pretty good. I might pick it up. You never know. It's going to be cool.
Yeah. I bought Borderlands when it came out, but I just couldn't get into it, mostly because I bought it on PS3 and didn't have a headset. So because it's such a multiplayer game, if you're playing it on your own, it gets very boring very quickly because you're just going from A to B. There's no cutscenes, no voice acting. It's just run through, go from here to here, kill this, go back, get your reward, go there. It's almost like an MMO.
Yeah.
But if you're playing it on your own, it kind of ruins the game.
I enjoyed it playing on my own on when I had no Xbox Live at all. I enjoyed playing it on not Xbox Live, no online on my PS3. I enjoyed it, and then like a week later, it just died to me. It died, and then about like a year later, I bought it again, and then that time I had online for PS3, and it was like a really, really fun. Unless someone was doing stupid shit like shooting in the air or just like staring at you and not doing anything or anything weird like that. When they're doing what you want them to do, it actually is really, really fun.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, like stuff together really does make it quite fun. I guess the final, I think that's pretty much it for news, but I think speaking about Borderlands 2, if it's going to be released this year, what are your most anticipated games of this year? I think everyone can safely say that Mass Effect 3 is right up there for next week.
I've never really cared for Mass Effect.
Yeah, the funny thing is neither have I. because whenever I got the Xbox in like 2009, I think, I can't even remember, or maybe it was 2010. Yeah, it was 2010 actually, and that was back whenever like Mass Effect 2 was just being released. I'm not really sure, so I wasn't really into the phase of the Mass Effect series, so I kind of missed out. I might pick, if a lot of my friends say it's really good, I might pick up Mass Effect 1 obviously first, and then Mass Effect 2, and then Mass Effect 3, but. And you never know. Like a lot of people have been saying it's gonna be like the best, obviously.
Well, when I was thinking about sort of my top 5 most anticipated games this year, after hearing about Assassin's Creed 3 coming out, and especially hearing that they've been working on it since Assassin's Creed 2 finished, so that's 3 years. I was thinking, which one of those am I going to have as my top most anticipated? And I've put Assassin's Creed because I've been invested in that for, 5 years now?
Jeez.
Mass Effect 3, I only really got into it like a couple of years ago. It's an amazing game and an amazing series, and if anyone hasn't played it, I'd highly recommend playing through the whole series. But at the same time, I'm far more invested in Assassin's Creed than I am in Mass Effect, and I'm looking forward to it a lot more.
There's some deep symbolism in it as well, if you notice it. Awkward silence.
Yeah, and I didn't hear you, to be honest, because it was a bit static there.
Sorry,
that's all right.
But my one, I don't really have many because they've either come out or like I haven't heard anything from them yet. But my one is Devil May Cry. But hear me out. It's not. I'm not anticipating. I'm not gonna play it. There's no way I'm gonna buy it. If the gameplay's good, I might. But the reason is that I'm waiting for this game to come out because when it does come out, they've been the creators and the creator of the creator of Devil May Cry, not the original, but the new Devil May Cry, but Tamim or whatever his name is, the effeminate looking guy, and Alex Jones, I think. they've been insulting the fans so
Oh,
much.
wow.
It's like censoring people so much that when that game comes out and bombs, I'm going to fucking laugh my ass off.
Yeah.
Because they have just been being too cocky, not confident, too cocky, and just being too rude. I mean, I understand that they have been getting insulted by the fans, and I understand that you got to retaliate, but you got to do it in a professional manner, not going, oh, you guys don't know anything. If you don't like white hair, then you guys just don't know anything about games and stuff like that. It's just unprofessional. It's like what's his name? David Jaffe. Like he was like fucking going, oh, you guys are fucking Bush League. You guys shouldn't be insulting me like that. Fucking.
See, that's one thing I cannot stand in games. If you're a developer, you have to listen to your fan base. Otherwise, you're not going to sell.
Sorry, what?
Okay.
No, Valve is definitely I think Valve is one of them that always listens to the fans. If you look at Team Fortress 2, then they always listen to fan stuff. Even if there are a few stuff like Left 4 Dead 2 being released a year after Left 4 Dead 1, people were a bit annoyed with that, but then they calm it down. I just don't like video game companies, insult the fans and stuff. I don't really I don't understand why they would even do it. What pushes them to do that? What are they trying to achieve from insulting the fans and saying, oh, we know better than you, they're it makes no sense why they would state stuff like that to the fans. It makes no sense.
Because
I don't get it.
Because the moment they get mainstream and the moment they get up in start reaching they get massive popularity and massive amounts of money, they just say, they'll be like, oh yeah, we care about the fans, we care about the fans. The moment they get a large amount of money, the hell with the fans, we don't care about the fans, they go completely corporate.
I know, it's pretty annoying how they would do that. I guess probably some of my anticipated games would be, I didn't really compose a list, but there are a few that I can just rhyme off the top of my head. Street Fighter Cross Tekken's gonna be one of my big ones, despite all this controversy surrounding it. I still think at its core it's gonna be a pretty entertaining game. And here's hoping that Capcom don't announce Super Street Fighter Cross Tekken 6 months.
Yes, they will.
Yeah, they probably will. I don't know. I shouldn't be getting my hopes up for something like that there. I guess other games, Counter-Strike Global Offensive I'm kind of looking forward to, because I've always been a huge Counter-Strike fan from the PC, back when I actually worked. I used to love Counter-Strike, and the fact that they're releasing a new one and they're releasing it for home consoles, and that it's going to be only an arcade game, I think it's going to be it's going to be pretty interesting, and it's going to take me off from Call of Duty anyway. So I'm looking forward to that. One game that I think nobody remembers anymore is BioShock Infinite, which is scheduled to be out this year, but I haven't heard anything new about it.
I heard it was, I didn't see any trailers or anything, but I heard it was good, but then it kind of just fell off after E3, or is that the right name?
So. Yeah.
Yeah. After E3, it just kind of fell off. I mean, it was oh my god, this is really good, and then after that, I didn't hear anything.
I have no idea. I haven't heard any new news about it. Maybe they scrapped it, but I hope they didn't, because I want to see a new BioShock game. So
no, I think it's still going ahead as planned. Just they've backed off on the information for it. I mean, they announced it 2 years before, so to think that they're holding back from releasing any spoilers or anything, it's advisable, really.
I guess so, but it's pretty late now. I would be thinking now it's the year that it's going to be released. I'm guessing it's going to be released in the fourth quarter of the year, most mainstream games are. I've hoped that they would at least release some information now that we're leading up to it. I would think that they would start releasing information about maybe multiplayer or about continuing the story and all there. So I don't know, but we'll just see how it goes. We'll just see as time passes. And I think the final game, woohoo, Black Ops 2, woohoo, no. That's sarcasm. Oh yeah, another Black Ops game, great. What's next? Modern Warfare 4, never or spoiler alert by the way, whenever Soap, comes back as some sort of cyborg or something. As Price trying to destroy him or something. I don't know where to go, to be honest. I don't know why they're releasing another Black Ops game.
It's gonna be exactly the
It is.
same.
It's going to be an exact duplicate of it. I literally had Black Ops for about 2 months. I played multiplayer on the first day. I stopped playing for like a month, came back on it, played the story mode, played a bit of zombies, and then I just treated it. Like I just gave up on it because it was.
The only reason why I ever played Black Ops was because my brother got 2 copies of it for Christmas. So he sold me one of the copies for like 20 quid.
Oh,
And
no.
this was at the time when it was like a brand new game. So I played the story and then I traded it in. That's all I wanted it for.
I can't wait to see how the sales will drop if they announced that zombies weren't going to be in Black Ops 2. If they just said it was going to be single player multiplayer, like nobody would buy it. But if they put in zombies, and everyone will like buy it just for the zombies, and that'd be it. Because that's why like people would buy the like 1,200 Microsoft point or £10 map packs just to play the one zombie map that comes with it. Like it's so stupid how like they would like I wouldn't whenever I had Black Ops I never forked out any money for one zombie map. Because like nobody cared for the multiplayer in it. It was just zombies, and that was it. I don't know. I didn't like it at all. I think Beechy, what would you say your anticipated games would be then?
Not pretty much the same as everyone else. Mass Effect 3, Assassin's Creed 3. Just all the main ones really. I usually keep open-minded towards games unless it's Call of Duty, I find that the main reason I don't get Call of Duty games is because they just die for everybody within weeks. Apart from the die-hard fans who will obviously keep playing all the way through.
Yeah.
Like I guess like what other like are there any other main releases that should be released like later on in the year or something?
There are 2 that I keep going back to: Tomb Raider, Max Payne 3.
I forgot about Max Payne 3. I was about to say what about GTA 5, and then I was like, oh wait a minute, Rockstar are making Max Payne 3. Forgot. So it's, I don't know. I did like Max Payne like beforehand, but I haven't really been playing any of like I haven't really been updating myself for the series yet. Same with Tomb Raider. I used to play it like years ago. I might have to recap on.
It's funny to me because I saw Tomb Raider and Max Payne 3 are coming out this year, and to be quite honest, I've never played any of the other Max Payne games. I've never played any of the old Tomb Raider games, but I'm excited for both of those games.
That's pretty cool. Well, yeah, it's pretty weird to see someone have played like a Tomb Raider game, for example. Like, that's one of the games that like a lot of people would have played as well. But I mean, here's another thing. I never played like Mario ever. There you go.
Neither did I.
No, not like that.
Wow, oh my, we're such lousy gamers.
The original Mario. Okay.
I was always a Sonic fan.
Yeah, so was I. And a Crash Bandicoot fan as well.
Oh yeah.
Anyway.
Zelda is another one that's missing from my
same
background.
here. I never played.
Yep, same as
Oh
me.
my gosh, this is awful. I guess so. I think those are like the most anticipated games we have. I think maybe one of the final topics we should be talking about is just pretty briefly talk about the wonderful, wacky world of wrestling. As 3 out of 4 of us do. Unfortunately, Beechy, I don't think you watch wrestling because I don't really see you post in the wrestling forums.
No, I don't really watch it anymore.
Oh, did you watch it? Like, when did you?
I watched it after the Attitude Era. It was for about a year or 2 afterwards, and then it just kind of went downhill for me.
I don't blame you.
Basically, when they introduced his Hornswoggle.
Oh my! Don't forget that. Turn it off. It was kind of because I watched it between 2006 and about 2008, and then by the time like I don't know when, but I just stopped watching it, and I must have completely missed out on like the Nexus and stuff, and like Kane's like World Heavyweight Championship reign and all there. So, and like Alberto Del Rio and all these people. So it was only until I started watching Smart Guys, and it took me a year to start, rewatching wrestling. And now I'm kind of a lot more up to date and stuff, and now I kind of know. I kind of looked up all the stuff that I've missed out now, so I do know all about, the stuff that I've missed out. But I guess in terms of this week, I think the only thing honorable to mention in Raw is The Rock's horrendous promo.
That was fucking awful.
No, what happened? I really don't know what happened.
It was like
because like
I think what they're actually trying to do, and it sucks that they're doing it, but I think if they let The Rock go off on his leash properly, then no one would be supporting Cena at all. So they're actually trying to hold him back, so Cena can get a word in. And
but people are still going to chant Cena sucks though in the match, like crazy. Because it's in Miami, Florida as well, so I don't know why they're even trying to do this. Like, they might as well be.
Yeah, murdered. He's going to get murdered. It's going to be like I bet you people like in CM Punk versus John Cena in Chicago.
That was crazy.
If Cena won that match, I guarantee you would have had a death in WWE.
Same with Rob Van Dam versus John Cena, One Night Stand 2006. Like,
people would have.
Yeah, people were like jumping over like every single time Cena would hit a punch, like people would like jump over the barrier and like hit him one in that crowd. It was like crazy because I think that was the one show where they had the infamous banner if Cena wins, we riot. Like,
yeah,
he couldn't like there's like reports saying that he couldn't even get out of the arena after the match because they wouldn't let him get out.
Yeah, but that's
pretty like
that ECW thing that you could not possibly have had a more hostile environment for everyone who wasn't an original ECW guy.
Edge got a good reaction after he speared Cena.
Oh yeah, because everyone hates Cena. So, and saying that, I mean, Edge was always an extreme guy. You know, pretty much innovated TLC. People like that stuff, so people like Edge. You know?
Same with like I think in that same event it was like Sabu versus Rey Mysterio, and everyone knows that Sabu was like an ECW original, and even though Rey Mysterio was a pretty big face back then, everyone still like fucking booed him like crazy because they didn't care. It's like, oh, Sabu, oh yay, and then they would just boo whoever the heck his opponent was.
I've never watched it, but the Big Show Batista match that night apparently.
You both suck. That was the entire thing.
Just nobody cared. It was just like hate both of them. Get off.
Change the channel. Change the channel. Some of those chants were hilarious. I guess. All right. I guess we should probably go back to. That was a bit of a detour there, going from. All right. I think probably the final thing to talk about in The Rock's promo was: do you think the handwriting on his hand was legitimate? Do you think it was like scripted to be put on there?
See, here's the thing though. The Rock is a Hollywood actor, so like an A-list Hollywood actor, and there's no way that he would forget his lines like that. So, let me go write the lines on this wrist. It's not like The Rock at all. And The Rock, he was gone for about how many years? Like fucking 8 years.
Yeah.
And then like he comes back, destroys The Miz, destroys Cena, destroys Justin Bieber for a brief moment, destroys everyone, and then leaves, and that was after we've gone for 8 years. Do you honestly think that The Rock is gonna suddenly be rusty after being gone for 2 months?
No.
After destroying Miz, R-Truth, and The Miz, and then not just in the ring but on the microphone, and then leaving for 2 months. You really think he's gonna be like, oh, Cena is a Kong, pow, bitch, and then trending worldwide, Cena's body parts, trending worldwide, Cena's sense of vagina, trending worldwide. Do you honestly think he's gonna be that bad?
Like
that's what I was saying before, though. You know, I think they're actually trying to hold The Rock back and trying to stop him from just going all out, because otherwise it is just going to be Cena walks into Miami and gets shot.
Somebody just sitting up in like the dome with like a flipping sniper rifle and he just gets like shot. Sorry. Oh no, main event has been cancelled. They just cut the broadcast. It was like the CM.
It's gonna be like do you remember in that John Rambo and DSP commentary when it was Kane?
Oh yeah, he sits his arm through him and stuff. Yeah.
Kane's back and the thing just froze. It's gonna be exactly like that and it's cut off. Just comes out of the fucking machine.
I guess for SmackDown, nothing really happened, to be honest. I guess the only notable thing was probably the GM switched for next week, so we're gonna have what was the match that they set up for Raw? That was like everyone faced Pdaaaawg. It was like a Oksana versus
Versus Kane, I
yeah.
heard.
Oh jeez.
I understand it makes sense what they're doing though, because if you think about it, like Teddy Long, as sick as it is, as fucking weird as it is, Teddy Long likes Asana even though it's half the age.
Yeah.
I suppose, like, I understand what they're doing though, because like it's kind of John Laurinaitis is like being like the evil, vindictive person. He's trying to mess with Teddy Long by like getting someone like Kane, who I swear is like a mix between like a rapist and Darth Vader. It's just like embrace the hate, John, and then proceeds to
Excellent.
and even then, he's like trying to mess with Teddy Long, and I understand what they're doing here, and it actually does make sense. So I see where it goes, and if it's something fucking stupid like kicks Kane in the balls and then the wins the match or something like that, I'll say I'm just gonna turn the television off and just no.
Oh, I think the final thing though, I don't think you changed the channel. There was another CM Punk and Chris Jericho promo, as good as it was on Raw. That
Yeah.
was a really good promo that they cut as well.
That was awesome.
It was really good. Even though, despite the fact that internet was going, oh, it was too long. Oh, CM Punk got owned by Jericho. It was not too long. Just shut up and enjoy. I know I complain a lot on the forums. I complain, especially in Triple H.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that. Don't you worry.
And a second. But like even then, I complain a lot. But even then, even CM Punk said himself, just sit back and enjoy it. Jericho says many times on Twitter, just sit back and enjoy it. That's what I'm doing, and I'm enjoying it but in my own way. But all people want to do is to say, "Oh, the promo went on for approximately 2.5 seconds. It's mediocre." It's just, God.
I guess I think in terms of backstage news, I think there are three main points that we should talk about. I think what you just said, I think we should talk about that. Triple H has now got 4 more years employed in the WWE.
Sorry.
Oh dear.
The game.
Go ahead with your rant.
Okay. All right. I think we should all just turn on mics.
4 years. And he's gonna bury CM Punk and Chris Jericho for more.
Well, he's gonna like get involved in the match or something and just pedigree them both or something. No, that's gonna be it. Oh, but, like, what do you think is gonna happen? It's gonna be something terrible. He's gonna beat like Heath Slater or something.
Heath Slater will just be backstage and just pedigree him there for no reason.
He'll pedigree the Miz. Sorry, completely.
Oh, did you hear about that?
Well, he just came and pedigreed the Miz for no reason.
Yeah, no reason at all. I think he was like cutting a promo or something, and then he just came out and pedigreed him and left.
Just arrive, pedigree, and leave.
People wonder why. People ask me, why do I hate Triple H so much? It's because I don't hate Triple H. I respect
Oh, this
him.
John Rambo thing. We don't hate him as a person.
Because the thing is though, he's like, if you remember his match, it was like Randy Orton and Edge versus Shawn Michaels and him. He did a spinebuster on Randy Orton and blew out his quad.
Yeah.
But even then, he still continued with the match. He wasn't like Randy Orton, like, oh, my shoulder, oh, like, or anything else like that. He didn't like over exaggerate or anything. He carried on with the match, and on top of that, did a pedigree on his injured knee through the announcer table. I respect the hell out of Triple H, but the thing that I cannot always gets in the way is the fact that his ego is fucking. Do you remember it was CM Punk? I'm sorry.
Go on.
It was Triple H. Triple H goes constantly. He didn't have to win at Night of Champions. He had no reason to win. And I remember this. I'm sorry, but if you remember, he didn't have to win the match. Triple H hits the sledgehammer on Kevin Nash, and then the pedigree him. The next night, CM Punk was selling his injury because he was hurt. He was hurt because they got attacked from R-Truth, Miz, Kevin Nash, Triple H. He was selling that, and then next minute Triple H comes down, walks down perfectly fine, perfectly fine, no injury or it's just like, oh, what's the game? You better respect me. Give me us, and we'll go back to the doghouse. And CM Punk had to act like a bitch. CM Punk had to act like a bitch. He's like, okay, Mr. Triple H, I'm sorry. It pissed me off. I was legitimately angry over those past few months because it suddenly went from being all about CM Punk, which was good, to suddenly becoming the Triple H show.
Yeah.
What happened? That is what I'm sorry about my.
No, it's alright. Keep.
The thing is, and I know you're not going to agree
Oh,
with
here
this,
you go.
but like this is the counter argument.
Oh,
Guys like Triple H and Taker, they have to be at the top so that they can pull other guys up. And I know that sounds counterproductive, but if Triple H is at WrestleMania putting over guys like Sheamus or Orton or Batista or anybody, then he's making those guys what they are. But if he lost every night, people wouldn't give a shit because he wouldn't mean anything.
Yeah, I understand that though. I understand the fact that he has to win. He does have to win a match. He does have to be on the top. I understand that, but like even Shawn Michaels had lost matches. Like back in the day, he used to be a complete prick. But like when he came back, he started putting other people over. But the fact is, the fans still liked him. I mean, the fans still like Triple H. To my surprise, and the fact that he's been doing the same thing for the past 10. I'm sorry, it's very personal. But like, he still can put people over, and he has put people over. But like, he does it at the wrong times. Like, remember back in WrestleMania 25, he didn't have to win that match.
That's
He really
true.
didn't have to win that match against Randy Orton. And then he had to lose the match at Backlash, and then no one cared afterwards. There was like, it was no.
You know what? I would love to see like a live camera recording of you if Triple H beats Undertaker at WrestleMania. I would just love to see. You would like we flip it over everything.
You don't have to worry about it because that damn live camera will be through the fucking window.
Well, the good thing is that's actually very nicely leading into the next story. That Undertaker says he probably won't be leaving the company because now he feels lighter than ever and he could be able to do another like 5 years or so. So what do you guys think about that? I think personally it's kind of good and bad in the same sense that I'm not sure. I don't think he'll be doing full-time wrestling like he used to, but I think he might come back for a special.
I'll be back in a minute. I just get the charger. Sorry.
I guess me and Rory will take this one then. So
Yeah.
what do you think about that?
Well, it's difficult because there's definitely positive and negative points about it. I mean, if Taker was just doing WrestleMania, I don't think I'd have any problem with that because like the last 5 years he's put on the show of the night.
Yeah, pretty much.
But at the same time, he got to 20, let him leave at 20. Just
He might be pushing it.
Don't
He might be
take
pushing
it
it
to
for. He might be pushing it to 25, which would be pretty stupid, but
if he pushes for 25, then he's going to be dead at
yeah,
25.
it's gonna be like coming in like a wheelchair or something at 25.
It'll be like Ric Flair. And
Oh, dear. Okay, this is a WWE one. We want.
He hasn't reached that bad yet. He's not asking. He's not offering 25 grand for a prom date with underage. He hasn't reached that age yet. Not yet. I don't think he will because Undertaker's mature and like he's one of the most respected people in the in the WWE.
Yeah.
But then again, so was Kurt Angle, and now look at him on Twitter. He's like, did you see his tweets the other day?
No.
What he was tweeting was like during the whole CM Punk and Chris Brown thing. And I'm sorry I have to bring that up, but like during that he was like going off a stupid rant. It's like going, oh, CM Punk is right, but he shouldn't be getting involved in this. It's like, oh, CM Punk is right. He shouldn't get involved. I could kick his ass. Yeah, everyone look at attention to me. I could beat his ass. It's crying for attention. People are like saying, why are you looking for attention for? And then it was just like, oh, I'm going to the Olympics next year. Fuck you. You can respect me. Honestly, look at Twitter and it says all of that. And then I think he removed most of those tweets actually afterwards.
Chris Brown definitely removed like all the CM Punk tweets. which I
Well,
thought was a bit stupid.
As much as I would like to go into that, we have spent about 25 minutes in wrestling, and if I said, "Oh, very briefly go over wrestling," and now we're like over an hour into the podcast now, I think, and pretty crazy. But I think the final main news topic, apart from the CM Punk Chris Brown, that'll take us literally an hour to go over. I think the other one is The Rock almost confirmed wrestling at WrestleMania 29.
Which pretty much ruins WrestleMania. Actually, ruin it because if you think that he actually might win, and then there'll be like the rematch at the next. Despite the fact I don't like it, but it leaves it open for possibilities.
Yeah,
like I don't want to suggest it because a lot of people suggest it a lot, but Cena could turn heel at WrestleMania, like Stone Cold did at WrestleMania 17. And like he can build up, he can be like a major heel in like for about a year, and then The Rock comes back and gets revenge and all that good stuff, and then makes Cena look more like a heel and pushes him. But because Vince is so far up his own
He's like,
arse,
"Oh, we
he
can't do
won't
that," because
Pardon?
I'm sure if they turned Cena heel, then a lot of the wrestling fans that kind of left might come back because they'll be like, "Oh my, we got a new crazy Cena who doesn't respect the kids anymore and all." I think it'd be like a really cool angle, but I mean, the odds of them doing that would be very slim. I don't think it's gonna happen.
I don't see it happening, to be honest.
But
I'd watch it again if he did that, but
yeah, like pretty good.
A lot of people would watch it again because I'm telling you now, like I'd have like a conversation in like any type of shop or anything like that, and they'll like I'll bring up WWE or something like that, or they ask me what sports I like, and they're just like, "Oh, I used to always watch that, but I stopped watching that like after John Cena and after The Rock and Stone Cold left." Ask anyone about wrestling, they'll always tell you the same thing, that they left after Stone Cold and The Rock left.
Yeah, pretty much. I think. All right. Yeah, after about half an hour, I think we should very briefly, and this time I probably mean very briefly, go over real life topics in terms of the Oscars happened this past week. The artist won the majority of the awards.
As it always was
As
going
it was
to
going to do, yep. So I haven't seen the. I don't even think it's available. Like I don't think you can watch it in the UK yet. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Did you guys see the BAFTAs at all?
No, I didn't.
One of the guys who won an award came up and was like, "First of all, I want to thank the artist for not being an original screenwriter."
Wow.
But it was like, yeah, because the artist has won so many awards. Thanks for not being in this one.
Very good. I guess. I think in terms of, I don't think, is there anything else to really talk about awards, like award ceremonies or anything?
Not a huge amount, although I did see something quite funny. The Angelina Jolie's leg. Has anyone else
No,
seen
I haven't heard of it.
Well, basically, when she was on the red carpet, she was posing and doing this thing with a dress where her legs stuck out, and like the internet have turned it into a new meme where it's like Angelina Jolie's leg everywhere, and there's a picture of Queen Elizabeth with the Angelina Jolie leg popping out of her dress. It's fucking hilarious.
I'll have to check that out after this podcast then. I guess in terms of like maybe films, like the only thing I can really remember is that they've announced Transformers 4 will now be made. Michael Bay will be the director. Shia LaBeouf won't be in it. Megan Fox won't be in it. Watch it. And that's it for movies. And what else is there in terms of TV? You think is going on?
Walking Dead is still going through, still staying strong.
I think you forgot the Avengers trailer, and you've got the Avengers
Oh
trailer.
yeah, okay.
The Avengers trailer was pretty awesome. And the other thing, just to extend the movie section a little bit more, I just saw there's a trailer out for American Reunion, so the new American Pie movie where they're bringing back like everyone who's ever been in the series. It looks proper hilarious with them like going to the beach house they were at in American Pie 2 with the high school girls there, and they're all like in their 30s now. It just sounds hilarious.
I might check that out, actually. Sounds pretty good. I haven't really heard of that yet as well. Nor have I seen the Avengers trailer. I don't really follow movies anymore, because now like going to the cinema is like really expensive now, so I don't really follow it that much.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that too. They're just rehashing ideas now. Yes.
I haven't watched the movie since Inception, because not only because Inception was that good, but because nothing else could really top it, because everything else was just crap. Stuff that was putting out, like Smurfs and Spike 4D, and
I actually completely agree. I've not seen anything since Inception.
Is that the last thing you guys saw in the cinema then, Inception?
Yep.
yeah. That good.
What's the last thing you saw?
Flip, it's been so long. I remember. I think probably it was Johnny English Reborn. I think that was it. And then and before that I don't even remember. But I remember watching it. It was all right. It wasn't as good as I thought it would be. But oh well. Probably because Bomb wasn't in it. But we'll ignore that.
Yeah.
Many tears were shed, but matter. I think, is that all about movies? That's relevant.
Pretty
much. Okay, well, I've got to go to the toilet real quick. So I guess you two, because I unfortunately I did want to follow The Walking Dead, but I haven't really I can't really keep up with it. So I'll just let you two distribute The Walking Dead here for a bit. Considering I'm guessing you two watch it.
I haven't.
Yeah.
No, I
don't.
You don't.
I've not actually seen it in ages.
Okay.
I hear lots.
Rory could go on a bit of a rant about The Walking Dead now for a little bit. Well, I'll be back in about a minute, so have fun.
Fair enough. Yeah, The Walking Dead. So you guys haven't been watching it at all then?
No, I've not seen it in a very long time.
Oh.
I hear, I see bits of it, and I see quite a few people tweet about it, but other than that, I haven't been really into it. The only thing remotely I've been into zombies lately is pretty much Dead Rising 2 and High School of the Dead.
Yeah. Well, the thing is with Walking Dead, I think the zombie thing is starting to get a bit played out now. There's so much of it around. But The Walking Dead, for the first time in ages, has actually put out a zombie product which is good, worth watching. And the majority of it is because the zombies aren't the main focus. It's the characters and everything, and the fact that they've gone on a tangent from the comics has kept it so people who read the comics don't have any of the spoilers for stuff that's coming up ahead, because they don't know whether stuff's going to happen or not. Like Shane, who's one of the main characters at the moment, I think he dies 5 episodes into the comic, but he's still alive now in season 2.
Spoiler alert if you've been reading the comics or lately.
Okay, I'm back.
So I'd say that. Yeah.
Yeah, I probably should have included that.
Okay.
But yeah,
I feel like movie monsters have kind of been they've been overplayed, or just been destroyed. I mean, vampires have just been murdered. No one takes them seriously anymore.
Yeah.
And what else is there? What other movie monsters are there? I've forgotten.
I thought Twilight was quite reputable, actually. I love Twilight very much. And I'm joking. I hate Twilight. Twilight's a nail in the coffin for any vampire movies or anything now, I think.
I watched it. I tried to give it. I didn't try to be the bandwagon and be oh, Twilight, stop doing the sparkling vampires. I tried to go into it with an open mind, but the acting is just bad. It's really bad.
I tried to watch the first one when it first came out, when it was all the hype, and I hated it. And I was the only person I knew that hated it.
Yeah, I sat and watched the first one, and I forced myself to watch the whole thing, and then after it I was just no, I'm not going to watch any more. This is absolutely horrible. It's shit. Oh my god, a car comes in and attacks the guy, and he just pushes it out of the way like no human could possibly do that, and then there's no attention brought to it back again. It's like the only person who notices is whatever the fuck her name is, the girl. What is her name? Any ideas?
The one beginning with B? The main
It
character?
was Bella.
Yeah,
Is
Yes.
it Bella, yeah.
Bella.
Bella.
She's the only one who notices that a car couldn't attack him, like hitting into his arm, and he just stops it. Like the rest of the school just, oh, it's okay. He was just a freak of nature,
Just
you know.
casually walk on past. Alright, as soon as I joined, I just heard you were like having a little run on Twilight, so I guess, alright, so we're currently about 1 hour and 15 minutes into the podcast, which is a lot longer than I expected, but you know, that's fine, we'll run with it, it's alright.
Yeah, it's been good.
Yeah, sure.
I guess podcast questions should be next, and we only have
Sure.
2, and I want to ask one to you, and I guess I'll answer it myself, but first of all, alright, okay, here with the moment of truth. Senior Huevos Benedito, I pray that I've. He asked, or shout outs to him for being the very first question asker. But he asked, what has made you stay at the King of Hate forum, and what has made this place special to you? So I guess we'll start with Beechey on that one. We'll go in alphabetical order again.
I'd probably say, obviously, I got the moderator position really early, which was October in 2010.
Jeez.
And so I've been here the longest, I think, in terms of moderators. But yeah, it's just we've just had so much to do over the last 2 years. It's been unbelievable. Like we first started, there was a first wave of users. Obviously, we had to moderate them like crazy. We had literally no.
Naughty Night Word. Sorry, what?
Yeah. There was Kitsune as well.
It was
Oh,
he
yeah.
or she or it or what?
Yeah, I'm Shim. I thought there was Ranculus as well. He was a good guy. He had something like 30 accounts.
Oh,
And yeah, the thing that basically made me stay was as soon as we started the community, there was such a bond between people because we all had a common thing to talk about. And obviously Phil puts out so many videos a day. We have literally limitless things to talk about every day, and that's probably one of the things that's like the glue to the community is topics on speech.
and DarkHadouKurosaki, what do you think?
I hate my iPod. If you don't know what just happened, my iPod just crashed for no reason at all and just signed me out.
Oh, did it?
But anyway, what was the question again? It was like how.
Yeah, what has made the King of Hate forum special to you, and what has made you stay here? I know that you're a relatively new member as well. As I've noticed.
But it's hard to explain it really. It's like basically most communities I go into, it's just crap or it's not really interesting or like it's going to be completely the moderators are going to be complete arseholes, game facts. But the thing is, it's just like this one, like the moderators are fair, even though I did have a bit of a problem with Beechey a few months ago. But that's the past now. But other than that, it's I really like the community. I really like the moderators and the kind of topics they talk about, like wrestling or anime or what else is there? Yeah, gaming obviously, and DSP's gameplay playthroughs and stuff like that. And it's just it's a really good community, and I could really get into it a lot easier, more than other communities. And they accept you for who you are, rather than be like, oh, you like this, you're an arsehole, stuff like that. Like other communities. And plus, because I became an editor so quickly. So I don't post a lot of gaming news, but when I do get quite good feedback from it.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it.
It is a very friendly community in the King of Fate anyway, throughout all of the time. That's what it's been at its core. There's a bunch of friendly guys with all a common interest in DSP, and they're able to branch out and talk about anime or wrestling or TV or whatever. So yeah, it's a very like interesting experience, and fighting everyone's all like laid back and stuff while still keeping like rules intact and all there. So I think it's pretty good. I think Orion, it was an O, so O before P. So I guess Rory, you're up.
Yeah. Pretty much the same stuff that you guys have said. You know, the community is really friendly and really good. And I think because we're all DSP followers, we all have kind of the same sense of humor. And yeah, we talk about gaming, we talk about wrestling, we talk about movies and TV. It's a good community to be a part of.
Yeah, I guess for me, it would be alright. Okay, here's the skinny. I might go on a bit of a rant here, but I was actually, believe it or not, even though it says on my account joined, what was it, December 2010, I have actually been here since the first day of the King of Heat opening.
I remember.
But previously my name was Pdaaaawg, but because that was against the rules. Alright. No. Before then, that wasn't a part of the rules. It didn't say. Oh, it was, I think, while like with me was a bunch of people that had like DSP in the name or Darkside Phil or whatever, and then they said, alright, we don't want to confuse anything, so we're just gonna make it simpler. So I had to close that account, and you could probably still find it if you really wanted to. But you know, this new account, the Pdaaaawg one, which I've had since December 2010. So I have been an OG if you actually think about it, but so just don't let that fool you. But so I have been here since the very beginning, and yes, there have been like phrases. There have been phases when people were stuck up and stuff. Like the Naughty Nightwear scandal and all that. Like all that crazy stuff, and then like. Whenever I was there, like I was a part of the fighting game community, because whenever I joined, I was just getting into Street Fighter, thanks to DSP, of course. And I was like, and they had there were tournaments going on, and I said, oh, can I join? Very friendly among everyone. However, in about June, or I think it started to die out by the time it was about March, and then by June, really, I mean, there was a period of time whenever I just wasn't satisfied with where the site was going. So I'm not gonna lie, I did leave for a good 6 months. I didn't come back at all. In fact, like 2 months ago, like January, I came back and then I realized that the thread, or not the thread, the website is all back and up and running again, and everyone's all like, it's kind of all back in a good state of repair, and I'm very happy to now be a full-on member of it. Like I do regularly go on the site again, like I used to. And all in all, I'm really happy to be a part of it, because I mean, it has been the community that has really risen up, and the fact we all have a common interest within DSP, and also the fact that like moderators would like give you warnings, but won't be like so ridiculous about it and all that there. Like they wouldn't like instantly ban you or anything or anything. And that I was like friends with like foes and stuff back whenever she was like just a moderator, and then we would like play Street Fighter together and all that. So having that friendly connection with like moderators and even admins, it's really good feeling, and it really is quite welcoming for the site anyway, and that's why I've stuck around anyway. The second question that we have is from Streetback Guy, who funny enough will be in next week's podcast, and he asks.
And he's actually just posted another question on the thread as well.
Okay, I'll have to check that out. But the first question they asked was which of Phil's playthroughs was your favorite over the past few years? Okay, this is a pretty common question. Do you have one, or would you say a general one?
I'd say Heavy Rain, definitely.
Heavy Rain.
Yeah, I think my one of mine's definitely Heavy Rain. But I also like the Street Fighter footage. All the Street Fighter footage is all combined would be like one big massive playthrough. So I think.
I loved his Little Big Planet 2 bit as well.
Yeah, Little Big Planet 2. Like the funniest moment was about the scissor.
Yeah, the fighting bit.
So, yeah, so I do think we can all agree that Heavy Rain's probably one of our favorites as well. So yeah, I do think that's pretty good. So what was the Streetback Guy's question here? Because I didn't really see.
He's asking, why don't you add like an audience in to listen to the podcast at certain times?
I think he might be referring. Sorry, I just got it there now, but I think he could be referring to like. Since we're recording this beforehand, we're not recording it live. It's not as if.
Yeah. What does he mean? He wants us to record it live so people can ask questions on the go.
At the same time, I mean, like that might take a while. I think we might have to wait until the podcast kind of expands before we can start doing anything like that there. So good idea. I might think about that if it does get a bit bigger. But for now, I'll have to pre-record it like the show and all that there. It'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be a pretty good idea. And I think my question to almost conclude the podcast is, I think I might ask this to everyone that would assist me in these podcasts. And why do you want to be a part of this podcast as well? Like, what made you want to become active in this podcast, you think? And and once again, Beechey, Dark, Orion.
My main thing was when the first podcast idea was thrown out, I jumped right on it because I thought it was a great idea. Yeah, I'm really happy you picked it back up because I'd pretty much forgotten about it. And this first one seemed to go pretty well as well.
Yeah.
I'd love to see how the next load go.
I guess so. And Dark, so I think, Dark, you were like one of the first people to actually volunteer to be in this podcast, like the very first podcast. So what made you want to jump on and like help out in the podcast here?
I just got a lot of free time. So it's just like, I don't know, it's just like, I want to like take part in something. Like, I'm already taking part in the King of Hate's website, but only briefly. But I also wanted to take part in something like this as well, like something that will help expand it, hopefully try to expand, I doubt it, I don't think it will, but, there's always a chance that it'll help, like, try to expand the website and also expand maybe even video popularity or whatever. I doubt it will, but I don't think that's just about it.
Yeah, I guess so. And Orion as well, you were another like one that jumped straight on as well. So yeah, same question pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much the same thing. I just wanted to take part in it, and
I guess probably.
I love the community quite a lot, so doing a podcast and doing this thing and kind of raising awareness of DSP as well. Yeah, I just wanted to take part and show a bit of allegiance.
I do feel, I'm not sure if I cleared this in the first, like the very beginning of I started about the podcast, because it was like over an hour and like 15 minutes ago, but I think the reason why I wanted to start off this podcast was like in the first place, like why I wanted to revive it was because it would be a very interesting like idea for, because obviously you have the chat and well that's about it, but if you could have something like a frequent thing that people could become a part of and involved with, and it'll make them feel important, being viewed by quite a number of people, maybe this podcast might get shouted out by John Rambo, even DSP himself if he wants to, and if this podcast gets bigger and bigger, it'll be something that everyone can contribute to. It'll be like a group project that everyone can like move on stuff. Like designers can do their own logos, or general people of the forum might want to come in speaking about it. People want to spread the word or anything like that, or people or bigger YouTube celebrities might want to be special guests in the podcast or something. So I do think it'd be like a growing experience for the King of Hate in itself, because I'm pretty surprised, like it's been a year and something, and like nobody has came up with like some sort of podcast idea, and I think it's pretty surprising. But I do think that this is I do hope that this actually does go further and stuff, and this can hopefully expand on this experience.
Yeah, I think the fact that you've made it so different people are going to be on the show every week. We're doing every week. You're doing every week. The fact that we're doing different people every week as well, so different people on the forums are going to get to have their say and feel like part of the community and do this. I think that's a really cool idea.
Yeah, and also I am sending this podcast to John Rambo, so hello, John Rambo, if you're listening in, because he said that he wanted to listen to the first podcast, see how it goes, and give us some criticism and stuff, and how it can be improved in his general thoughts. So I think if we get like some help from that there, or maybe like some popularity or something, then I'm sure that this would make it grow. And the main objective of the podcast as a whole is just to spread word about the King of Hate, but mainly and the King of Hate's main purpose is spread word about DSP. So this whole thing, this whole community thing was all just for DSP. And sure, we did go a bit about general gaming and movies and TV and wrestling and all that there, but mainly the main point of it was just about DSP, and that's the heart of this podcast, to be honest. That's like the main point of why we're doing this. So I guess that wraps up the podcast. If you want to hear more from the people who done the podcast, you can find me on youtube.com/Pdaaaawg. You'll find my channel in the list in the King of Hate network that I have in the channel description if you want to check some more of me out. Or on Twitter at Pdaaaawgni. That's my King of Hate name, but NI at the end of it. Beechy, where can we find you on like YouTube and social networking sites?
Just do Matt Beechey on Twitter, and that's pretty much
Matt
it.
Beechy on Twitter. I'll link all these, by the way, in the description below if you want to check them out. DarkHadouKurosaki, where can we find you out?
You can find me on thekingofhate.com. I don't know why you want to, but the king of like DarkHadouKurosaki on my website. Fuck yeah, what's up? On YouTube, you'll find me at CM Punk Navarro as SVR. If you want to see that.
No, it's okay. I'll link in the description. I did read that. I did get that clear.
And if you want to see DSP highlights.
Oh yes, and DSP highlights can be found in his channel as well. Yes, I forgot about that. When can we expect the next DSP highlights, or the first DSP highlights from you? Like the first proper monthly one?
I just uploaded it now, by the way. The February DSP highlights. But I uploaded it on Widen the Blood Edge. That's pretty much my second account, just in case I get suspended.
I'll link them both to the description. And finally, Orion, where can we find out more of yourself?
Find me on Twitter at SkullSnacks, SkullSnax, or add me on Xbox Live, Orion4946, or PSN, same name.
And once again, check out DSP at DSP Gaming and DSP Street Fighter, and Red Dead DSP and Darkside Phil Final Fantasy 13 and Darkside Phil and all his other 500 accounts. Follow him at They Call Me DSP at Twitter. Follow John Rambo on YouTube at John Rambo Presents, and follow him on Twitter at Super John Rambo, I think it is. And that's about it. So to all you listeners who have stuck with us for the past I think it has been an hour and a half now. So I think thank you for sticking around for this here. It's gonna take me a while to edit, but I hope you enjoyed it. Look forward to this weekly thing. You know, I'm gonna make a new thread about this, so don't worry about it. So post your comments and stuff either on the comment section of YouTube or in the King of Hate. Expect next week featuring a live feature, featuring myself, featuring a live feature, featuring Darkman13, and featuring Street Bad Guy. So I will see all of you listeners next time, and from all of us in this pilot episode of the podcast, we will see you later.